Hi, I'm going to show you how to use a system called Getting Things Done combined with Evernote to manage your personal tasks. Now, this tutorial is appropriate for both students and faculty members. So let's get started. Now, first off, you're going to download Evernote, which is a free download. Of course, they have a freemium system where you can pay more for certain premium features, but I haven't used them yet, so you can get by with the free version. Once you download it, you start it by hitting this attractive little elephant icon. And that will open the main page like you see here. Now the first thing you want to do is create a notebook that will track your tasks. Over here I have a notebook that's simply called Getting Things Done. And of course it could be my tasks or anything you want. So come up to Notebook, click New Notebook, give it a name. I'll simply call this Tasks. And then make sure it's synchronized. The reason why you do this is that it's a cloud-based system. So any changes you make to your account on one computer will show up on any other computer you have, or any other computer in the world that's connected to the internet. So if you're traveling, you're visiting someone, you can just pull up an Evernote account and find what your tasks are. We'll hit OK. Now we see a notebook called Tasks. Now let's look at how you create a note. All you do is go up to New Note. You'll show Untitled Note at the top of your list, as well as the actual note on the right-hand side. The one on the right-hand side is the one you'll work with. Another option is to simply double-click the untitled note at the top of the list, and it'll open up a new window for you. I tend to find that a little easier to work with. So let's imagine I'm a student and I want to create a note for a class task. And let's imagine it's the final paper for my English course. So I'll just entitle it English Final Paper. And then I'll provide all the information I need to know to do this. So maybe it's a 5 to 7 page paper on, and then ... Now the easiest way to do it might be to just copy and paste the instructions from an assignment right into Evernote, so that you have everything right there. Now the real power of the system is in tagging. And that's where you're going to organize your notes to really organize your life. You're going to add a variety of different tags to the notes that you can use to search later on. You simply come up here and click Add a Tag. Now, you want to create a variety of different categories of tags. For instance, at the highest level, you might distinguish between school, work, personal, something like that. Now, you want to put some sort of symbol, consistent symbol, in front of each of the notes that are of the same category. For instance, I use full colons. And I'm going to type 3 full colons, and you'll see that these are all the tags I've created related to that highest category of subject. I have tags on consulting, my work with Magna, personal, rental, school, and work in general. So as a student, I might click school. At the next level, which I use 2 colons to indicate, is the priority level, high, low, or medium. So let's imagine I determine it to be a high priority level. The third tag that I use is urgency. I use 1 colon to indicate that, and you see I have immediate and long term. So let's imagine it's long term. Now, as a student, you may have a variety of other types of tags. For instance, you may have a tag by school subject or class. Now, in this case, I'll use an @ sign to indicate the school subject. For instance, B342 might indicate biology 342. In this case, maybe it's English 560 or something like that. Again, the designator can be anything, and I've used colons just because it's easy to remember colons in my own mind. But it might have been easier originally to use different symbols, for instance, the shift number symbol to indicate different subjects. So the @ symbol would be a class or something like that. Visually, it would distinguish it a little better than my system, which uses single, double, or triple colons. But whatever you use that works for you is fine. So I've also indicated with an @ symbol which class it's for. Now for urgency, you can use either immediate or long term, like I do, for something where it doesn't have a particular date. But for something where there's a particular deadline, like a paper, you might want to give it a particular date. So for instance, we'll create another note, and this time we'll use an exclamation point to indicate that it's a date note. And you see they have a variety of dates down. Now the system I use is numerical for dating. year, month, and day. And the reason being is that they sort in chronological order when you do that. Now you can use some error system like May 23rd or something like that. That's fine. I just use this because then the sort will be real obvious. So let's imagine it's due on June 1st. So I'll give it the June 1st tag. Now I can also attach things to this. So I can go File, Attach Files. And that could be helpful if I've, say, downloaded an assignment or something like that. Then I simply attach the assignment to this. Now Evernote works a lot like Google Drive in that there's no save function. What you have is saved in virtue of the fact that you've typed it into the system. As soon as you hit the keystroke, it's saved to the cloud. So all I have to do is simply close it now. Now you see the tags on the left-hand side. Notice the dates to the side. So if I want to find out what's due on June 1st, I click the June 1st tag, and there it is. If I want to know what's coming up with school, I click the school tag, and there it is. I can also sort by high importance, immediate, a class, or any one of a variety of different possibilities. Now, if you're a faculty member, you might want to use it to track things that are going on in your classes. And I like to create a note for each one of my courses. For instance, I teach a course to faculty members on how to teach online. That's tagged with work, so I'll click that, and I see it comes up right at the top. It's called CFE 6000. I'll double click it. What I do is simply record the various things that I need to know about the class. I need to track where students are. I record what needs to be done, upcoming duties. In this case, week 4 indicates there's something I have to do in the 4th week of class. And I have what are called student issues. So I put down somebody's name with date and any issues that are coming up. It's also nice that if you have, for instance, made agreements with students or something like that, you can also put that up there as well, so that you have a record of the kind of agreements you made, the kind of promises you made, things like that. Again, you could do this differently, say a 1 note per student, and then tag it with the class title. I just find that 1 note per class seems to work for me. We'll close this. The R tag I use is for research. Click Research. And here's where I organize all the research that I do. It's very easy to lose track of the good articles that you find. So it's really nice to have a way of organizing them and being able to find them when you're doing a paper or doing some sort of research on a particular topic. So for instance, this particular one is an article called Online and Campus College Students Like Using an Open Resource. So I create a note in which I put the title of the article, or in this case only part of the title because it was so long, as the title of the note. And then I put a short sentence here just about why it's important. This becomes a kind of short annotated bibliography. Then by uploading it as an attachment, it actually falls within the actual note itself. And now I can advance through it right within Evernote, or I can download it off of Evernote. If it's a PDF, I recommend annotating it. Whenever you find something interesting, make a comment, highlight it so it's there later on. And that's it in a nutshell. You may want to modify it for your purposes, so find whatever works for you. But using the system will make you much more organized, and you're going to save a lot of time in the long run. Thanks.